Okay, well, this is part two to the video that we had earlier. It's part two to the video Lost in Translation. In our last video, we had spoken about how in Spanish everything is gender appropriate, as in, like, if you're fat, you can't just be fat, you have to be like gordo or gorda, alto, alta, chaparro, chaparra. Everything has its gender to it. Another thing that we talked about is the fact that in Spanish you right away know whether the person that you're speaking to respects you or whether they just consider you to be an average person or on their level by the fact that they speak in the form of usted or tú. What's funny, even as we mentioned in the last video, is that sometimes when people are upset with one another and are arguing, they'll flip into that usted speaking, which is kind of weird. But another thing that's crazy is that, like, or something that's iconic about the usted do thing is that in Spanish, there's like a role, right? That when a man is trying to court a woman and trying to like lure her, trying to conquest her life or whatever, he'll approach her as usted, like, oiga usted, disculpe usted, oiga usted. And sometimes it's happened a lot, especially like in movies and stuff, or novelas, where all those you guys know what those are, and where the woman or the man will interrupt the opposite and tell them, like, hábleme de usted, háblame de tú, instead of speaking to me as an usted. So that's kind of like saying, like, hey, we're more comfortable with each other than that. Let's speak as average humans to one another. And it's kind of like a entrance or a way in, kind of like letting the other know, like, yo, I'm into you, I dig you, and we are common, so we could hook up, I guess. Okay, the other thing that gets lost in translation that I have to say is that in Spanish, there's a form, it's wet, ma? It's kind of wet? Nina, sorry. I'm gonna throw it right there. And in Spanish, there's like the term of endearment. So obviously in English, and especially in the United States, because we've had a history, right? Because of the U.S.'s history, we have to be very careful in the way that we address each other. Bullying is a very big thing in the U.S. right now, and it's even making itself, because I've seen posts from Mexico City by my family that lives in Mexico, or cities down there in Mexico, that'll be like, bullying is real, and they even use the word bullying, which in Spanish it's just like, what would the word bullying be in Spanish? I don't even think there's a word bullying in Spanish. I love this song that's on. Anyways. It's a real thing. So when you address somebody in English, first of all, you have to find out how they like to be addressed. You can't just be addressing anybody by what you see them. Like, that would be like, what is it called? Speculating what somebody wants to be addressed by just how they look. What is it called? When you're, it's kind of like being prejudiced. It's judging, being judgmental, being, I don't know how to explain it. The song's name is Urgent. Okay, so you can't, if you're speaking to, you're being judgmental, you're being prejudiced, you're prejudging the person based on how they look and they expect you. So, okay, you can't say the Mexican or the black one or the white one or the girl or the boy. Descriptives are kind of racist, bullying, and what else could it be? It's like a bad idea to do it if you want to be politically correct in the United States. And if you want to be with the status quo, if you want to be a woke person, you can't go around addressing anybody by their descriptives. It's just not right. But in Spanish, okay, it's weird. I know. In Spanish, everybody is a descriptive. If you were the guy that had the big ears in your neighborhood, everybody in the neighborhood called you chorejas. If you were the chubby kid in the neighborhood, the whole neighborhood called you el gordo, or el lonjas, or el barril, or something like that. If you were the dark one, they called you choco, or they called you negro, or negrito, or la negra, you know what I mean? I have a tia that they call, a tia gorda, I have a tia that they call negra, like kinds of uncles and aunts. My nickname used to be Gordo. Everybody has it. When you're talking in Spanish and you say el gordo, it just means the fat one. But when you say el gordito, when you're saying el gordito, you're saying it with endearment. You're also saying it like as a with a kindness to it, like you like that person, you appreciate that person, and you feel like kind of like love towards that person. So you say it like kind of like with a pityness, also in the same way that you say el gordito. In Spanish, if you say la güera, it means the white girl. But if you say la güerita, it means the little white girl. And not only that, it kind of adds like a term of endearment. It becomes, once again, I think it's lost in the translation. And if we were to translate it from Spanish to English, you would call us racist. But all you need to do is go down to like, places like Puerto Rico, Cuba, and places where there's Afro people of black descendants, or you know what I mean, or whatever you can call it, because they're not Afro-American, they don't live in the United States. But there's people of the Afro race in those countries that speak Spanish, real good Spanish, better Spanish than mine, only Spanish, they don't even know English, you know what I'm saying? And if a girl were to call them el negrito, they'd be excited, they'd be happy, they call themselves that, they refer to themselves as that. But if you'd say it in English, or if you were just translate it, or if they were to ask you in English what it means the black one. So it's racist. But it's messed up. It doesn't. It's weird about our languages and the translations that happen. The fact that in Spanish, you right away automatically shows to the person whether you respect them or not. That gets lost in the translation. It does. It gets lost in the translation. Like, you don't have that in English. It doesn't exist. The cool thing about understanding both languages, like to the level that I do, I guess you could say, is that once you start comprehending both languages and how they are and why they are the way that they are, when you start listening to languages like Italian or French or Portuguese or perhaps even Arabic, and what's that other one that's very old, like Latin? Whenever you start hearing those languages being spoken, you kind of see bits and pieces of Spanish and English. It's almost as if the language was all one, and then it got split down the middle, and half of it was taken for the English and half of it was taken for Spanish, and now it's two different languages, all evolved and derived from the same thing. Just like humans, just like animals, just like the rest of the planet, language has evolved too. If you brought a person from the 1920s here to this day and age and you asked them what's a meme, they would not know what a meme is. You know what I mean? Or if you told them what a LOL or anything. Language is always evolving. Spanish and English, and things get lost in translation. That's why sometimes it's hard to understand one another. And that's why it's a blessing to understand more than one language. If you know Spanish, even just a little bit, embrace it, use it, enhance it. The more you use it, the better you'll know it. Use it. Trust me, it'll help you out in your life, and it'll make you a better person for it. Family, once again, this is your man, Craze. I'm here with the Queen. We washing. We got the Nina here and the Santana boy here. Tell him what's up, Santana. We are out. My video's over. It is done. Don't forget to subscribe. Hit us up. Leave a comment. What's your opinion? What do you think? Like, next video that I'm going to make, I want you guys to know about. It's about the word chingo. Chingazo. Because that word is so versatile. It's like there's so many uses for it. Chingo, it could be positive and it could also be negative. It could be sex, it could also be violence. It could be work, it could be losing, it could be winning, like ya shingue or ya ni shingas. It could be like, it has so many meanings. That's gonna be our next video. Leave a comment below, tell us what you feel about languages and all that things. Maybe something I missed, something that you would like to add to this video. Much love, family. Peace.